Your furniture looking a little rough around the edges, time to clean it off. Well, you need your garden hose. Does your garden hose kink up and then you're not getting the flow that you need? Well, Stanley has innovated a non-kink garden hose. It's their FatMax line, and today is the last day you can pick it up at our featured price of $34.52. So I'm just giving you the heads up because tomorrow it will cost more. And joining me right now is Howard Irvine. He is our tool guy here at QVC, but he also has a background. He once owned a garden center.
I did.
So you had many a hose in your garden center, I'm sure.
I mean, there was days in the summer we watered 24 hours a day using sprinklers and handheld. So I became very familiar with what it takes to make a good hose and what makes a bad hose. And so when I saw Stanley FatMax had a hose, I had to run over and check it out to see what was different, because I know Stanley name has been around over 170 years, but the FatMax is what they reserve for the best of the best. They're highest quality, most feature packed, even has a lifetime warranty, and it is different. The first thing I noticed was it feels different. It's actually a softer feel. It's very lightweight. It only weighs about 7 pounds for this 50-foot coil. It has polyfusion technology. So instead of the vinyl or rubber that you're familiar with in normal hoses, this is polyurethane and PVC. That makes it much more flexible. You might think, well, maybe it's not going to be as strong. It is. It has the same 500 PSI burst strength that you'd expect in a top quality garden hose, and it remains flexible even in very, very cold temperatures. I had this out in the 30s and 40s. I was washing the salt off my car. Some of those hoses, you could hold them out 5 feet and they're as stiff as a 2x4, but not the Stanley FatMax.
And so you do have a choice of colors in your Stanley FatMax hose. So whether you like the yellow or in black, $34.52 for the last time. So come tomorrow, that price does go up. But let's talk about some of the features.
Yes.
So like you said, they make sure with the FatMax umbrella that those are even more durable. And so what are some of the features?
One of the most
hose?
frustrating things is when the hose gets a bend in it, and then those bends can become kinks, which are permanent. Not so with the Stanley FatMax. There it is, all coiled up. Now I'm going to walk away from that coil. I'm going to rotate the hose in my hand as I walk.
I'm watching.
And those bends come right out. And if a hose does get a bend, the Stanley FatMax, it won't become permanent. And that's what makes the kinks. And I'll show you on the hose reel over here.
So it was kind of like self-straightening.
Yeah, it is self-straightening. And what that means is without bends restricting the flow, you're going to get the full flow. So I have this switch grip nozzle. I get the full power out of that without restricting the flow. And that is what's so important. I can show you this hose reel over here.
And by the way, the yellow, more limited if you like the yellow. Yeah, that's what I'm familiar with.
Yes. Right here, it's a bend that becomes permanent. That's what I call a kink. That's going to restrict the flow. Even if you try to straighten that out, as soon as you let go, it goes right back in, and you can try to squeeze it. The thing we haven't talked about is the ends. The FatMax has forged aluminum ends with a titanium coating. Here's the cheap ones. They get bent. They're thin steel, which cuts into the rubber washers. Not so on the Stanley FatMax, and I'll show you those.
So this is kind of, again, one of the upgrades, one of the innovations.
It upgraded it from end to end. Here's the forged aluminum fittings. Now you're going to say, well, aluminum's not black. Well, that's the titanium coating, and that is a very hard surface so that when you're threading them together, it threads together smoothly. But what else you're noticing is these plastic overmolds. It's an octagon metal with a plastic overmold and a rubberized grip. And on the female end, the entire grip rotates. So rather than gripping that little metal thing at the end and trying to turn it, you're able to get your whole hand on there and really tighten or loosen so that you're not running back for a pair of pliers in the garage. Same thing on the other end. It's overmolded, so that weak spot where the hose meets the metal is the weak spot. And when you're trying to tighten and you're turning the hose, you're tearing that. And that's what wears a hose out. That's why you can get a lifetime warranty with this hose.
For $34.52. M49863 is the item number, yellow or black, your choice. And you know, lightweight, it has that newer innovation, those reinforced ends. So when you think about your outdoor chores that you're going to have to tackle maybe maybe this weekend or in the next few weekends, whether it's washing the windows, right? You need a long hose. This is how long, Howard?
50 feet, and that is the optimum size. 100 feet is just too big and bulky. 25 feet isn't going to reach.
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to do it so nice and neatly with 100 feet. Yeah.
And of course the two colors, the yellow and the black. Black, more traditional. Maybe you think that would look nicer hanging on your hose holder on the wall. But the yellow is very nice too because it's bright. You're less likely to trip over it or
have
run over with a lawnmower.
That's right.
I want to show you that anti-kink self-straightening again, because as I pull this out, I'm going to rotate the nozzle in my hand and let those things that would become bends and could become kinks in other hoses they don't even happen here. That hose is straightening right out as I go, so I'm not running back and taking those bends out so that I can get the water flowing. There it is. I have 50 feet of hose out now, not one bend, not one restriction on the flow. So now when I'm ready to water the plants with my radius, I have full power.
But you know what? You're saving me time, Howard,
Absolutely.
which I appreciate. You're saving me money because I'm not going to have to replace this hose after a season or two. This is meant to last a lifetime. That's why they really stand behind this garden hose by backing it up with a lifetime warranty. So many of you are picking up more than one. You're like, well, yeah, if you're giving me a lifetime warranty,
Absolutely.
I'll invest in this and never have to worry about a garden hose again. So we have yellow and black as your color choices. This is your last day though to pick it up at a lower price. So just know that come tomorrow, you'll pay more for the exact same thing. This is I think one of my favorite features because I have been there where, like you said, I'm trying to squeeze my fingers in to uncouple it.
You just have two
and then I
fingers.
wind up calling my husband.
Right.
Like, I can't
now,
do it.
Your entire hand fits on there and you can put all your strength in, and at the same time you're not stressing the hose where it connects to the metal. This overmold goes over the octagon shaped metal, so it's like a giant socket.
Well, I will tell you, I am seeing a lot of bird droppings on my windows. Like, it's that time of year.
Time to get the pressure washer out.
And you need the hose to do
Stanley FatMax.
50 feet, lifetime warranty. If maybe you know somebody that's a gardener, what a nice, thoughtful gift for them.
Absolutely.
Howard, thank you so much. Good
Thank
to see
you,
you as
Gabrielle.
always. All right, well, don't move. Pat James Dementry's in the house while Dan Hughes is on vacation. She's joining me for 2 hours of Morning Q Live coming up next.
Today's next big thing is almost here. Watch today on NBC starting April 17th to find out whose idea will impress you, me, and a panel of judges. Then watch Saturday Morning Q April 22nd when the winner sells their product live on QVC.
QVC Plus is now QVC 2. What's the difference? The QVC